Oh yeah, you saw me get my camera out, didn't you? Because you were rolling on the floor. No, I wasn't. Don't tell anyone. Is it lovely and warm in here? Is it? Hey, Chunky? You want to go out? Yeah? Yeah, there you go, sweetheart. It's Friday and it's 7:30. No, it's not. It's Saturday and it's 5:30. Oh my god. Like, I've skipped a day and 2 hours ahead. Or back. Or whatever. I don't even know what's going on. I've just sat down. I've been upstairs for quite a few hours doing this and getting distracted, and I just filmed a live video for this channel which is currently uploading because I'm going to Tesco in about 15-20 minutes max and getting a couple of Dr Peppers and trying to get something to eat for my evening meal, but I don't know what because I'm totally off food at the moment, and it's just like I don't particularly know what I want at the moment. But today, what have I had to eat? I've had something to eat. Oh yeah, I know what I had. I had half a raisin and cinnamon bagel, which is one of my favourite things, which you'll know if you've been watching these vlogs for a while. I know I've not really mentioned them for a while because obviously there's lots of other stuff going on, but when I did the shopping on Wednesday, I got a pack of 4. And I managed to eat half of one, and of course my cute little doggy Cleo had the other half. She seems to love them and she always knows when I've got them. Like, she'll be upstairs sleeping and next thing I know I'm sat here with my bagel and she's like, comes and sit next to me. Like, I think she really likes them. So yeah, and I had a stupid argument with my dad this morning which has left me, I don't know what the word is anymore, but he's basically said the policewoman who I talk to and trust is a nasty bitch, and I was like, okay, like he said that to me before, but it's kind of come out of nowhere today because she's not been mentioned by me or he's not talked to her since he saw her at the hospital over a week ago, and he thinks she's got some kind of I can't remember the word he said, but basically thinks she's got something against him and that she's trying to cause problems and she's trying to get me to reveal things about him and other people, and he's annoyed because I won't tell him what I've discussed with her and discussed with the DI. But as I've said on here, I think in a live video I did this morning or last night, I think it was last night at 5:30 in the morning, I'm not willing to discuss with anyone on here or in real life, not that this isn't real life, but I mean in my life away from the internet, what I do and don't discuss with the police anymore, because I've done it in the past. Like, I did it with my former boss and she was telling everyone what I was saying and it was getting back to my ex, word for word. And then I've been telling my dad and then he's been giving me advice, which now I realise is been more detrimental than anything else. So, you know, I'm not going to discuss with people what I am and I'm not discussing. Like, I'll come on here and I'll go, oh, I've spoke to the police today, or I've seen the police, like, but that's as far as basically I'm going to take it. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, we had this conversation about this, and then go into details. Like, I might go, oh, we had a conversation about the serious allegation I made a week ago. That's probably as far as I'm going to take it. I'm not going to sit here and go, this was said, that was said, whatever, because I don't really want to discuss it with people, and that's the short of it. And he doesn't like that I won't discuss it with him. He doesn't like that I won't tell him what's being said. But I have to think about myself now. I can't keep thinking about other people, because if I was thinking about what my dad wanted, I would have done what he asked me to do a week ago when he told me to pretend I was too drugged up and I was coerced into saying what I said. That's not the case, and on record I'm saying it here again, that is not the case. But I made sure I emailed the policewoman to let her know straight away as soon as he asked me to do it, so then he couldn't talk me around. And for once I'm actually sticking to my guns. Like, normally he can get me to do 90% of what he wants, normally. because I get the emotional blackmail and everything else, which I've been getting so much emotional blackmail. I'm just like, I don't know what to do with myself anymore. And it's hard for me because it's my dad, and it's my dad at the end of the day. Like, he's all I've had mainly since I was 12. So I don't know. I know he's been detrimental to a lot of things in my life and stuff, but he's still my dad. So yeah. So he's getting annoyed, and he's like saying, are they talking about me, as in him? And I'm like, I can't tell you what's being said anymore. He's like, well, you could tell me if they're mentioning me. I said, well, what difference does it make? He's like, well, I'd tell you if they've talked about you to me. And I'm like, well, yeah, you've told me when they've talked about me, but you tell me conflicting versions of what they've said, and I don't know what they've said half the time, and I don't know what to think. And he's like, I'm always being honest with you. And I'm like, I don't think you are, because this week you've told me 2 stories about something. The other week you told me 3 different versions of a story. I said, I just don't want you to get involved in my life anymore, because obviously it's one of the reasons I'm where I am now, and I just don't want to keep going round in circles and doing everything you want and living the life you want me to live. It's really not fair, and it's just getting annoyed with me. I just feel like I can't live here anymore. It's just, this past week has been a nightmare. I mean, last Saturday I was in an horrific state after Thursday night, Friday morning. I hadn't slept really, and he started on me, and then I had it Sunday, and then I had it Monday and Tuesday, and the only night I didn't really have it was Thursday night, I think, and I woke feeling quite okay Friday. I was like, I'm okay today, and it was a nice feeling. And then, of course, last night he comes in and he starts it again with me, and it's like, I don't know what I'm meant to do. Like, he's trying to stop me from making a statement, but he doesn't even know what it's about, and he seems to think I've told them something about him, and I keep saying to him, you know I would never tell on you. And he's just convinced it's about him, and then he thinks it's about my brother, and he's like, I'm going to protect him, and he's going to say that he can't remember, and I've told him to play on his memory loss. And I said, he can totally remember that time, what this relates to, because of conversations I've had and other things. And he's like, well, he's my son, I'm going to protect him. I said, oh, it's ironic that you're going to protect him, but you didn't protect me. And he said, I have my reasons for doing what I've done. Yeah, jealousy. A lot of people have said my dad was jealous of certain situations and certain people, and it's not normal. And it's like, I have to now try and build some kind of life for myself, and it's hard because of how he's making me feel now and how he's caused a lot of how I feel. But it's like, I managed to avoid him all day and all night to some extent, and then he comes on from the pub, and then it's like, boom, he always manages to bump into me or find me or something, and it's not fair. And then he plays the I'm your dad, I care about you card, but I don't feel like he cares about me. He's never shown me any kind of fatherly affection, and I don't believe he cares. I think he's putting on a front with the police, because I know him and I know what he's like. I think he's putting on a front, especially with coming to the hospital. I mean, he said he was given no choice by the police officers, and then he said that Melissa had told him that he had to stay. So I said, well, they can't make you stay if you don't want to. And he's like, well, I wanted to stay because I didn't want you to be alone with her. And I said, basically, she's come to speak to me. The conversation will happen regardless of if you're here or not. We will be going off for a private chat. And he was happy about that, and he did go home. But yeah, he's putting on a front pretending he cares, but I know he doesn't care a shit, and he's just doing this because he doesn't want to look that bad. But he doesn't care. Like, there's things that have happened, and he's not been here. He goes to the pub, he doesn't ask me how I am, he just avoids me. And, you know, I'm not saying I want him to ask me about what's happened or anything like that, just how are you, or just have a conversation about anything else, but he's never here. And, you know, I've had people saying they think it's strange that when he knows something's happened to me that he goes to the pub, and I defend him. But lately I've not. I'm like, I can't defend someone whose actions are wrong. How can I defend that now? So I've stopped defending him, and I can't keep defending him when I feel the way I feel. Like, my head feels like it's going to explode most days with what's going on in it. And, you know, I'm trying to not put him in trouble, but there's things that have happened that are so wrong. And for the first time in my life, I actually want to discuss things that have happened, and I've never ever wanted to discuss things. I've never wanted to disclose things. I've always kept things to myself. But if anything that I've learned this last 6 months is you have to talk about things that have happened. And I've always been ashamed or felt bad about things that have happened that have been wrong, and I've always blamed myself. And you know, I've learned so much this last 6 months about don't keep things to yourself, and you need to tell people, you need to talk to people. But I've never had anyone telling me to do that. My dad's always not been there for me, and he's always like said, you can't tell people when bad things happen, you've just got to deal with it and get on with life. But obviously me ignoring all these issues, it's like, it's been so bad for me. And now that I am actually going, well, this is what's happened, you know, he's giving me a hard time for being honest, but I have to.